Last week I did 2 videos on what not to expect when you come to Ecuador. Many times I talked about leaving expectations behind when you come to this country, and I came up with these 10 items in my first video of what not to expect when you come to Ecuador. And no sooner had I published that one and I came up with another 10 items. And so guess what? Since then, I've got another 20 items, but I'm not going to give all 20 of them in this video. I'm going to break it up into 2 parts. So there'll be a what not to expect in Ecuador part 3 and part 4. And today we're doing part 3. I've said many times before, and I'm going to say it again, when you leave the United States and you come to Ecuador, leave your expectations behind. Don't come here. Oh, thank you very much, okay? I'd like to do just one video without some anal pour down there honking his frickin' horn on my street. Yeah, they know you're here. They can see you, okay? You moron. Excuse me. You know, sometimes you just gotta lay it out there, okay? All right. Anyway, I was part 3. All right. Well, actually, I'll start on it right after this. Hey. Roger. Oh, Rocket Chick. Roger. Hello there. Okay, here we go. Part 3. I got 10 items here, things not to expect when you come to Ecuador, okay? You could probably say the same to about just about any South American country, okay? I'm looking to make sure that my microphone is recording, and I believe it is. Okay, so number 1, I don't know, I'm not real sure. A friend of mine gave me this idea. Number 1, UV protection. Don't forget, we're on the equator here, and you need UV protection. You need help with it, okay? Don't come here expecting that you won't get sunburned. Even on a cloudy day like today, the UV can just tear you up, because we are at the closest point to the sun. Generally speaking, I'm sure there's other points that are closer than right here in Ecuador, but you know what I mean. We're on the equator, we're on the further, the globe expands out, and we're closer to the sun than you would be in North America. I don't know, y'all probably don't hear what I'm hearing. I'm not in the mood for putting up with noise today, and it's Thursday. It's a relatively quiet day here, and people are being, nuisances. Okay, so number 2, all right, breathing good at high elevations. There's 1, 2, 3, at least I know 3 major metropolitan areas that you can live at in the Andes. One being Cotacachi, the other one being Quito, the other one being Cuenca, and all 3 of those locations are I consider prime locations to live, because as you know, and I've said this before, that in Ecuador you're either on the coast or you're inland, all right? Because there's not much in between. There's little villages and small little communities where you can go, but if you're going to be in a major metropolitan area, you're either going to be on the coast, like in or near Manta. Some people go to Salinas and Guayaquil area, which I don't recommend. But if you pick the Andes locations, you're going to have to deal with altitude. Cuenca, I think, is like 8,300 feet. And I remember being there a couple of years ago. I was only there for 1 month, and I had some issues with being able to breathe there and breathe comfortably, okay? I've had as many people tell me that you can get used to it as I've had tell me that you'll never get used to it. I have COPD, So theoretically, I'm not supposed to ever get used to it, but I'm never going to convince myself of that unless I try it. Number 3, wearing nice jewelry. Yeah, forget that, folks. You can bring your nice jewelry. I would leave it back home. Leave it with relatives, or don't sell it. Sell it for the gold or whatever. Don't come here and expect to go walking around in areas around here. You'd get robbed of it just like you can in the United States. So it's just a good, in the early days when I first came here, petty crime was the crime, all right? Now we have petty crime plus gang murders, gangs killing each other. I'll be glad when they're done. That means there won't be any more left, and then we'll be back to a petty crime. But I remember when I was in Cuenca one time, the one time that I was in Cuenca, I was at Sunrise Cafe, which, by the way, if you come to Ecuador and you go to Cuenca, you have to eat breakfast at the Sunrise Cafe. It's the best place, in my opinion, the best place in Cuenca to eat breakfast. But I was sitting there one morning, eating my breakfast, and I saw this gringo-looking, expat-looking guy come in, and he had a gold bracelet on his arm, and he had, gold rings on practically every finger, including his thumb, and he had a gold chain around his neck. And I thought, I just wonder how long this guy's going to last today before he is without all that. And so even the locals will tell you, don't wear flashy jewelry here, okay? You're just inviting people, because there are people out here that will rob you for $2, okay? They'll steal your cell phone from you and sell it for $2 to somebody. They'll sell it for whatever it takes to get them a meal. So don't give them the opportunity. Number 4, carrying expensive camera gear and expensive laptops and cell phones. Yeah, that's the truth. I have some pretty expensive camera gear. I have all Nikon lenses, prime lenses, super fast lenses, not cheap lenses, and Nikon camera gear. It's hardly been out of this apartment. I'm not going to carry that stuff outside. I'm sorry, I'm afraid to. I especially wouldn't make a trip around here with it. There was a lady out of Quito here recently lost $4,000 worth of her camera gear on a bus. Okay, she was going somewhere, a little trip, a day trip somewhere, and she lost all of her camera gear on that bus. So don't, and I say expensive laptops, the way I solve that problem, well, I'll show you. I'll be right back. This'll do my cha-cha, rock-a-chica-rock-cha. I got to actually pick up a couple of things. You notice that I'm talking to you while I'm actually not on video, because I have a microphone with me. I'm picking up some things that I'm going to use in the rest of this video to make my point. This'll do my cha-cha, rock-a-chica-rock-cha. Hang tight, I'm almost there. Now if I can get by here without knocking all my shit over. Bet that was exciting. Okay, so here's what I was going to show you. This is the best $200 investment I've made since I've been in Ecuador. This is a Chromebook. It's made by HP. I bought it from Amazon. It cost me $200. I think there's probably a little bit more than that now. It doesn't have the brightest display that you can expect off of a laptop, but I'll tell you what, since everything I do is online anyway, this is perfect. And if somebody steals this from me and in a restaurant or somewhere, I've lost $200, I'll just go back to Amazon and get me another one, Same thing with cell phones. I have an iPhone 15 or 14 Pro Max. I'm recording this video on it right now. I've discovered that it does a better job for me than any of my pro gear, but I'm very cautious when I have it out in public. You don't walk around Manta here, even in the mall. Don't walk around with your cell phone out, videoing, or doing selfies and all that kind of stuff. You can easily get it snatched right out of your hand, and I've seen it happen here. Okay. And I know everybody, oh yeah, it happens in the United States too. Well, you're not in the United States when you're here. So, number 5, garbage disposals. I'm going to show you my garbage disposal. There it is. That's my garbage disposal. I put my food that I'm going to throw away in here. I rinse it all out in the sink, and then I dump that in the trash. Okay? I made the dumbass mistake when I first came here. I took my disposal stuff, that leftover stuff, and I put it in the toilet and thinking I was going to just flush it down. Well, that wasn't a very smart idea. So I put it now in this little strainer here, and then I just rinse it out, get all the stuff out of it, and where it's just nothing but solid materials in there, and then I just throw that in my trash can. There's my garbage disposal. I don't know why they don't have garbage disposals here. Probably because, for the same reason they tell you don't flush toilet paper, which is going to lead me to, well, that'll be here soon, okay? But you hardly ever see, even in the brand new places, you don't see garbage disposals. They just don't exist here. I'm sure there are a couple around. I'm sure somebody's going to, come back and tell me, Don, I got one. But you're not going to see them. I guarantee we can walk up and down this block that I'm on, and I bet you we couldn't find 2 garbage disposals. Maybe that's all we'd find. Number 6, product warranties. I don't know what to say about this. Why did I even bring this up? I think the reason why I brought this up is because it's not so much product warranty as much as it is being able to return something that you bought that you don't like, or even if it doesn't work. You're going to find it difficult. Okay? Now, Mega Maxi, I know you can take stuff back there. Never had any question. But there's 2 times where I've bought stuff in the mall. One was at a little store called Melanie. I bought a headset with a microphone, and I couldn't use it because it had a phone jack on it instead of a USB jack. And I thought, who the hell uses this anymore? So I just packaged it all back up and took it back to Melanie, and they said, no, I'm sorry, you can't return it. So I'm not going to tell you what I did because I wasn't very nice about it, but I ended up coming home without it, and I lost $32, okay? Big deal. Second time was I bought a modem from Super Paco in the mall, and the same thing. I got home with this modem. It was all in Spanish. I couldn't figure it out. Couldn't do anything with it. So I boxed it back up, took it back, and said I'd like to exchange or get my money back. They wouldn't do either one because I opened the damn thing, okay? You're going to run into that a lot here, folks. Just don't expect product warranties. A lot of stuff that you buy when you go like to the hardware store, and you even buy a fan, just a little fan, they're going to stop you at the door and they're going to plug it in to make sure that it works. So what? Even if you get home and it doesn't work, they're not going to take it back because it worked when you left the store. That's going to be their excuse. I don't know if it's because they just can't handle the accounting part of doing a return. I just recently bought something from a photo store in Quito. I bought a teleprompter, and whether you know it or not, I'm not using it because I had to return it. And the guy said it's going to take a month or more, if ever, to get your money back. It's $200. And I finally just got smart and said, okay, well, just give me a store credit and I'll buy something else. And I end up buying something else. It's a pain in the ass to deal with that kind of stuff here. Number 7, elevator ease of access. You'll love this one. I don't know what the deal is about Ecuadorians. I love these people, but you know, there's when for some reason I've discovered that Ecuadorians, my girlfriend included, doesn't really understand the concept that when you're approaching an elevator, if you're going to go up, you push the up button, right? If you're going to go down, you push the down button, right? And then you stand out of the way because the door is going to open and there's a good chance that there will be people wanting to get off. Well, guess what they do here? They push the button, they push either button, it doesn't make any difference which direction they're going, and they stand right in front of the door. Just right there. And you literally have to go around them to get off of the elevator if you're on it. One time I was completely blocked from getting off the elevator. I had to literally force my way through this crowd to get, it's like, come on folks, let's empty the elevator and then you get on. But they don't understand that concept here. And it's a real challenge using elevators here. So don't expect it to be easy. It's not going to be, unless you just happen to be the only one getting on or off. The worst place is at Mega Maxi. The 3 elevators in front of Mega Maxi. They're giant elevators. They get packed full of people. Nobody gets out of anybody's way. It's like every man for himself. It's like a mad dash to get on and off the elevator. So that's something that you can expect, okay? Number 8, drinking tap water. Yep. Especially in Manta, don't expect to drink tap water. But guess what? You can in Cuenca. Maybe you can in Quito. I've never actually heard. But I know you can in Cuenca because I did a video on it. Matter of fact, I'll put a link to it right in the description. Okay? You thought I was going to say it right there, didn't you? Going to put it in the description. And I think it's a short, and where I actually pour water right out of the faucet in the apartment I was in Cuenca into my water bottle, and then I'd chug it down. And I've not been sick from drinking water here. Now, I do drink bottled water here in Cuenca, in Manta. But in Cuenca, you can drink it right out of the tap. Number 9, flushing toilet paper. So, I'm going to just tell you right up front, okay? I flush everything. And the reason why is because flush and plunge. Flush and plunge. This tool, bring one of these with you if you want to. If there's anything you're going to need when you go to the bathroom in Ecuador, is most likely you're going to put your crappy paper in a trash can, which I am not going to do. You know, or you're going to flush it. And sometimes, I don't know if it's the piping or what, because the toilet paper is real soft and it absorbs, and I don't use like a whole ton of it, but I use this thing a lot. It's my friend. It's my friend in the bathroom. But I did a joke about this or a video about it one time, and I said flush and plunge, flush and plunge. But you'll find that most modern buildings around here, you're not going to have any trouble flushing toilet paper. I'd say let that be the least of your concerns when you come here. And then, of course, number 10, I said hot water in shower. And I put in parentheses suicide showers. So nowadays, the reason why I brought that up is because if you come here and you rent in an older building, more than likely you're not going to have a water heater. Okay? And if you have hot water at all in your shower, it's most likely when you go to step in the shower, you reach up and flip a breaker on the wall, and that turns on the suicide shower that heats up the water as it's coming out. I don't know about you, but I've always thought that it might be kind of dangerous to mix water and electricity, but you know, they do it here, and I would not step in one of them. In my case, I have a little on-demand water heater. You see those all over the place in the newer buildings. Even buildings that were built 10, 15 years ago, you'll see them and they as soon as you turn the hot water tap on, this thing kicks in and starts heating the water right away. And it takes about a minute for me to get hot water to my shower, but I tell you, I get more than I need. So that's the scoop on that. So that's it. I got the next video will be part 4. I got 10 more items. Maybe I might even come up with a couple other ones to add to it and everything. So anyway, thanks for watching this channel. If you like this channel, please subscribe. If you like this video, smash that thumbs up button. If you didn't like this video, I hope the next time you sneeze, it gets stuck halfway. And it gets stuck there, and it stays there forever. Okay? Ciao, ciao.